every weekend.
Bro, that was exactly how it was for me, Derek, and Gallo. That's exactly what Gallo and Derek did with me. No shit.
Yeah. And especially depending on the person. I'm not saying everybody in this day and age, sorry not to cut you off, that they couldn't learn on the road, but there's a lot of younger kids these days that need to be coached because they're not willing to at least go in and get their ass kicked, or there's not enough guys in the business willing to whoop the guy's ass a little bit and just to stretch them out and go, hey, slow the hell down. I wish I had a dozen extra guys to whoop my ass when I first broke in, but in that sense, luckily most of that's not on the internet.
Right. All right, man. What made you want to become a worker?
It's being a country boy, in that sense. I grew up, the Radio Shack down the hill from us, they rented WWF in your house pay-per-views and all that. They had all the VHSs, so that's how I got my start. It was just my two older brothers started watching it, along with my first introduction was by my grandmother, which we actually used to watch wrestling up in Denver like every Saturday morning when we were over there. In that sense, that's what was on, or she really liked it, so I'd watch like the little bits that were there. Couldn't tell you who wrestled, but I loved seeing dudes throw each other around, and I think that just stuck with me. I was like, MMA is great, but I'm not pretty as it is, so I need the looks that I got. So I was like, I'll do theatrical. I can definitely do that. And everything kind of corresponded, and I just, shit, man, pro wrestling's like a drug, you just get stuck to it.
Right. How long have you been wrestling?
I have been wrestling 13 going on 14 years now. It'd be 14 as of April. Yeah.
Damn, I've known you for a majority of that, too. Holy shit.
Yeah. We met out on that Grant show. I rode up with Mosh, and who did you ride down with? Was it Manimal and Chewy? Or was Manimal wasn't on that road? He might have been. Yeah, it was that
Kid Vegas.
Kid Vegas, there you go. In that sense, I was like, I can't remember, because obviously, mind you, there was only, 6 of us on that show after everything. That was a cluster, but it was fun.
That was a huge clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Who did you watch as a fan?
As a fan, early on, I was super, into Stone Cold. He was the guy that I followed heavily in that sense. I really liked Sting before he had gone black and white, because granted, I had seen, and when I saw him before, it was actually in reverse, because it was obviously old VHSs that I was catching at that time. So I got to see old Sting, and then I as the Monday Night Wars were heating up and everything, and I started trying to catch up on WCW now that I had cable and all this, and I saw that Sting. I was like, I don't like that one. Like, I don't know why, but in that sense, Sting early, flashy paint and all that stuff, I love that Sting, and it was just, I think, a culture shock to me, going like, I don't understand, why are you like this now?
Right.
But Stone Cold, I was a WWF kid growing up, so most of the time, Stone Cold and Mick Foley. After Hell in a Cell 98, I was like, I don't know why, but that stuck with me, and going, dude, that guy took that much damage, that much pain. Like, how can anybody say this is fake?
Right.
And it just, I think that stuck to my soul, and I was like, I want to leave a lasting impression on somebody's, mind, heart, soul, like he did just there. Because just the credibility of just getting up and just continuing to fight, just amazing to me.
Wow. No shit. All right, now this all changes for all of us, I think. When you became a worker, who did you start to watch?
Yeah, when I really started getting in depth and understanding more, I got deep into Chris Benoit. I got into guys like, again, William Regal, and all those are fairly cliche, but I really got into Fit Finlay when he was in World of Sport. And I loved the fact that his biggest cheat in that sense that pissed off every Englishman there was that he would turn around and punch the guy. And that could get him the heat. And it actually spawned me to challenge my own self not to throw a punch, even though punches or whatever, it's supposed to be illegal in the rule book. I've never seen that rule changed. So it's always pissed me out. But nonetheless, it challenged me. But yeah, I got into deep stuff, especially Finley, Rollerball, Rocco, Johnny Saint, things like that, and just really got into a lot more of the catch wrestling of going like, man, that it inspired me in that sense to be a more shoot style fighter, I guess, or wrestler.
Right.
So.
Dude, always love watching you work, dude. Scared the shit out of me when the first time I worked you. I thought I was going to die. I don't know why.
I appreciate it. I hope I'm never actually too stiff. I know I'm snug in the ring. I grab holds, but I'm like, I'm just grabbing holds because, man, nothing looks stupider than you slipping out of a wrist lock. You know, so, you know, I kind of have a firm grip, but if you bump me a little bit, I'm never going to complain in that sense. But, yeah, I always pride myself on never trying to hurt anybody or, you know, always being a professional in the ring.
Right, right. What was,
whether it's a lucha that hates me or not.
All right. What was your first match like, and who was it against?
The first match that it was a tag match. Me and my good friend Dex, and we tagged up against two of our other trainees at that time, which was Johnny, and which then became one of my really, really good friends in the business, though we grew up together, and a guy named Jerry Garley, and it was a cluster. It was a drizzling shit, and it was great because for some reason I was hyped up in my head. I was gonna, you know, I'm gonna do this really cool run in, and I'm gonna do like that, the edge slide into the ring and then get into this brawl. And they had just polished the floor of the armory that we were doing the show at, and I was in shooter shoes. Oh, and so, like, I try to go run it, and it's like Mario, you know what I mean? My feet just go, no traction, and finally I kind of garner some traction and speed, but have no way to slow down, so I go to try and dive into the ring, and I, like, Vince hitting his quads. Dude, I just bashed my quads right into the side of the ring. My legs slap up against the rope. I come in, and I have somehow, like, go, yep, that didn't happen, and start trying to fight, even though I got two Charlie horses in my quad like an idiot. So that was my true first professional match after our trainer, Rick Daniels, had kind of given us the green light, like, hey, yeah, you guys got it. Because, again, before that, we were doing yard matches, but I always watched matches and got like, well, how can you do this and this and this? And I mean, my backyard days, I built a 16 by 16 ring in my backyard with steel cable ropes and all that. And I had about 150 people every Friday night after school to come see our yard tard matches. Again,
really?
Not proud. Yeah, but I had 3 acres out here in the country, and country kids, man, before they're going to go drink out in the cornfield, shit, yeah, let's go see some idiots hit each other. And that was back when I was like, you got to make it look real. So we were hitting like idiots.
Do you know who HIW is in Tucson?
I do.
Have you ever worked for them?
I have never worked for them. I've worked alongside of them. I did a couple there, like on shows with Chaos. It was a couple different lucha promotions down there, and then
do you know he's in a video game?
Yeah, man. Because I actually first started seeing him, and whether it's good or not, he's also another inspiration of me doing a lot of my hardcore shit. Because I saw him on the Best of Backyard Wrestling videos and shit.
Really?
I'll give you props. He got, yeah, man. Because my buddy, he loved those in that sense, or his dad saw him on the late night TV and ordered them because he was a big kid at heart, and he was like, yeah, I want to see kids fuck each other up. So, yeah, like, we watched it all together, and yeah, I remember seeing him on there, and Josh Profit and Matt Cross up in Ohio and shit like that. But yeah, I remember seeing them on that, and they were doing, cactus bumps and stuff like that in their backyard. And even though I was crazy, I went, I don't know if I want to do cactus. I've fallen in cactus. Shit hurts for a long time. Sure, I'll do barbed wire, though. That makes sense.
Yeah, you would be so fucking surprised. I'm cool as shit with him. He's fucking awesome. Him and Roman Alexander work together.
Yeah.
And I got them coming down to Piranha Promotions in Arizona. We used to do this little lucha show every Sunday. It's a little local lucha show, and I thought he was cool, and I wanted to get him out and get a couple of other guys out from HIW and bring them down to Phoenix. So him and a couple of his trainees came down, and me and him had a great match. Like, surprisingly, it was just basic. Everything was just incredibly basic, but it worked out well. And all his shit that people like to get in worked out complete with the story. It was fucking amazing. To say the least, it wasn't the drizzling shits. So that's the most I can say about that. I'm sorry. Let me move on to the next topic here.
I get long-winded too.
No, it's great, man. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of DWO?
DWO, Destiny Wrestling. I'm one of the few guys that know, I guess, the all around, because Destiny Wrestling technically started out as a backyard wrestling company. When I was in high school, they were my competition, and for all my glory and glamour in life, I called my company Amateur Championship Wrestling. So stupid, but it just worked. I was like, sure, yeah, this, we're amateurs, and this is championship for the belt. Yeah, total made sense to me when I was 14, 15. Like, right. Good job, Josh. And so we went back and forth in that nature, and it was after high school I'd come back, and they were doing one more, like a reunion show. And I happened to run into them, and I actually started talking with Adam Merrick and then who all became owners, Johnny K and Dex, and the four of us, along with, at the time, Jerry Garley. And I mean, I could get into all kinds of diatribe history, but all of us basically garnered together to start this thing. And then after everything, we finally got trained by Rick Daniels, and we were doing shows at the Armory for several years. We ran for, I think it was 6 years at the Armory in several different places there in Albuquerque. After a little dispute with the Athletic Commission, we ended up taking a hiatus, and then came back as Destiny Wrestling again, but we were partnered with a gentleman, Chavez Promotions. He was a boxing promoter out here, and he took a chance, started us out in that sense, so at least we could get our foot in with the Athletic Commission, which I'm not even going to get into the Athletic Commission out here, because that's they're doing their job. That's all I'll say. They're doing politician jobs, but in that sense, they cost a lot of money for shows to go on in that sense, and basically put a stranglehold on nothing else happening. But Destiny Wrestling, we under the commission, we ran for, I think it was the better part of 5 years, which I could be mistaken on all the different, necessarily the number under the commission. I've been hitting the head, and I've smoked a little bit of weed in my day, and I've forgotten some of those, just in the sense of, just because there's so many shows and so many different, you're always out putting out flyers and everything. So the best part was the four of us, Adam, Johnny, myself, and Dex, then finally became really good friends. What year was that with Matthew Robles, MK, which obviously I think you know MK fairly well, or
yeah, I know MK very well.
Yeah, I love and if I had known I was going to bring him up, I would have asked if I could have told a different story, but I have not got permission to tell a certain story, and I'm not going to rehash heat there. But a hilarious story in Vegas. I love going to Vegas with MK. He's a party. He is a party. But nonetheless, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked from there. But he ended up joining the crew in the sense of, and was very instrumental for the years with the commission, and we ended up partnering with him, and he ended up becoming an owner over the last 2 years, or a part owner in that.
Oh shit!
So yeah, that's, again, the guy did. I mean, he would print our flyers for us at his cost, never charged us a dime, just to save us that money. He'd FedEx it like overnight to us and